Right then. Happy New Year, everyone.
Right then. So I'm just looking at myself on the screen and I look like one of the two Ronnas with these glasses on, right? So I said to the producer.
But they got new haircut, though.
New haircuts, yes.
So welcome to our first live of 2024.
You're talking quite loud.
Am I?
Yes. She gets very excited and she talks really loud.
I do. I love our lives. I love seeing everyone in the comments. All our firm favourites are in. And a lot of people that are normally here aren't because they're off to do their panto. What are you doing?
I'm trying to find the volume.
But anyway, so thank you all for joining us for our live. We're here to talk about cruise travel or anything else you want to talk about. So please do, if you've got a question for us, make sure you write it in the comments by the side. If you could put question in front of it, then please do, because it just helps us spot it for all the chat. So please do ask us anything. We can talk about some of our plans this year. We've got 3 cruises booked, haven't we? Oh, no, we've got... We've actually got 5 cruises booked.
There you go.
2 that you know about, Queen Anne in May, which we've talked about because we're very excited about getting on Cunard, and also Gary Bembridge's Tip for Travellers group cruise in September. And 3 we're keeping under our hats for now because we're just adding bits and bobs around those things, aren't we?
I say yes, I haven't got a clue what's going on. So I just carry the bags and
look pretty
and say stupid things.
So we're still putting final plans for our Asia trip. It sounds a bit mad that it's only about 5 weeks away, but a little clue is we've actually been invited by a company to do something very exciting towards the end of the trip, and we are waiting, even though they've emailed to say that obviously we're on it. Until I physically see those sort of tickets in my hand, I don't want to say things just in case it all falls through and then we look really stupid. However, it's all coming together really nice.
I think we look really stupid without things falling through, don't we? I think we do that
well,
quite well.
I think we do it.
Oh, one of us does anyway.
Do. Anyway, so let's have a look to who's in the comments here. Andrea, lots of people are either going to the panto or Andrea, who's going to watch this on catch up. It's on going for a free ballroom Latin dance practice for our next cruise, maybe. We do we love dancing. We're not very good at it, but we do love dancing, and often on a cruise we'll go to a dance class, but then we're not brave enough to get up, are we, on the dance floor on an evening?
Well, it's not entirely true. We got up in the Queen's room. If you're going to get up and dance, get up in the Queen's room on a Cunard ship. And we nearly got run over. It was just, if you can imagine when there's not traffic jams, trying to run across the M25. That's what we were like trying to dance. We got hit from pillar to post, and after about 30 seconds, we thought, wow, we're either going to have to start fighting people or sit down. So we went for the sit down.
I think probably because, there's so many accomplished dancers on there, aren't they, that were obviously going in the right direction. And because we only practice our little dancing really in our kitchen, isn't it, which is very, very small. So, but anyway, so I hope you had a fantastic lesson, Andrea. And I hope if we see you on a cruise, we'll be able to see what your dancing technique's like. Barbara's here. Love to see Barbara. Happy New Year with lots of cruising to all Paul and Carole followers. Yes, I'm sure you've all got plans. Let us know in the comments what your plans are, because we obviously love to hear what that is. Ken's off to the panto.
Oh, no, he's not.
That's what I said to him. I said, had a response. I said, no, you don't. But and Rose is here. So love to see Rose. Happy New Year. Hope nobody affected by the rain. It's been... In the UK, the rain has been just non-stop all over New Year. In fact, Paul yesterday was doing a favour for my sister and taking a car from Lydney in the Forest of Dean up to Owl's Yard, which is near sort of Worcester way, isn't it?
It is.
And he rang me to say, all done, all sorted. And it took you how long to get home?
It normally takes me in a car about I say in a car because sometimes I'm in the camper, but in a car it will take me 40 to 45 minutes to drive from my nephew Al's yard in just outside, between Malvern and Worcester, back to Gloucester. It took me about 10 minutes shy of 3 hours. Because there was roads closed because of flooding. Because of the flooding, everyone was trying to use the same road, and then that road was flooded, so they had to divert off that. It was just an absolute bedlam.
It was. So yeah.
She said it was. She wasn't there. She
I wasn't. I was in the warm,
Yeah.
getting her some work done here. So
phone me up every 3/4 an hour. Where are you now? So about 100 yards further on than when we last phoned. Well, I'm really hungry. Of course, I'm not. I hadn't had anything to eat all day.
I wasn't. I was checking on how you were doing, so I was worried about you.
I just wanted food.
But anyway, luckily the rain seems to have stopped in a lot of places in the UK. It's still troublesome. The flooding is still troublesome, and it looks like it's going to get dry and cold, which we're not freezing, but just very sort of early sort of 1s and 2s, isn't it?
Dry and cold is better than wet and horrible.
And we've got a very exciting weekend coming up because we're catching up with some of the guys in the comments that are our patrons. We're having a patron meetup in London this weekend, and we're also catching up with 2 of the biggest cruise vloggers in the world as well, aren't we, Paulie? So we're looking forward to that.
Me and Carole.
No,
we're just going to look in the mirror.
So we're glad that actually the rain stopped. Even if it's cold, you don't mind a bit of cold as long as it's dry. Anyway, back to
what's great about the Patreon meetup is all the Patreons have messaged us to say that they're going to buy our beer all weekend. No, I think that's so kind of them, honestly.
Oh, the other exciting thing is we've got a new sofa delivered tomorrow. It's all going on, isn't it?
The bad news
exciting news.
Because the new sofa's coming in the morning and they've given us a guesstimation of 7 a.m. to midday. So we've had to move our old sofa out tonight because my big burly son came and helped me lift it out. Yeah. So now we haven't actually got anything to sit on apart from our dining chairs.
Well, on my office chair.
Well, I'm sat on a dining chair. Carole gets a nice, comfortable office chair. So if I want to watch the TV for the rest of the night. So
probably after this, we just go to bed and watch telly.
Straight to bed.
Anyway, let's see who else is here. So Corinne popped in and she's off her rehearsal as well for the panto. Nick and Tracy here. Lovely to see you guys. Evening all. And Nicole's here too. So thank you for coming along. Nick said he posted a question yesterday evening, but can't see it. If you post too early on StreamYard and YouTube, it tends to disappear. So it's always just good to do it, I don't know, a couple of hours before if you wanted to. So Kevin, yo, from my office on 42nd Street.
Peace.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to Kevin. Now, Kevin, if you want to know more about Kevin B, he's featured in our first New York vlog, which went down really well. Part 2, well, the final part, because we split it into 2 parts, is out tomorrow. So make sure you look out for that. I made a little banner. I like my banners, isn't it, Paul?
She likes her banners. I know, in fairness, I think we've gone about 2 or 3 lives without Carole busting out a banner.
So that's our video that's out tomorrow. But if you've missed our part 1, check it obviously on our YouTube video. We had some great feedback from it. Kevin features highly in it because he met us. He lives in New York, and he met us, and we had such a great time with Kevin. We laughed and laughed and laughed, and felt like we'd known him for years. Wasn't it? It was brilliant.
It was wonderful. And if you're considering going to New York, I strongly urge you to watch these 2 videos because this will give you some fabulous ideas of what to do, and it might give you some fabulous ideas on what not to do if the stuff we did doesn't light your fire. But I thought it was. I thought we covered a lot, so I thought it was very
well. And if you want to see Paul on the cyclone at Coney Island tomorrow with me and my sister in hysterics, then make sure you tune in because that was just one of the funniest things.
The 9th, it's the 9th oldest roller coaster in the world, being ridden by the 9th oldest man in the world. Yes. That's what I felt like when I got off.
So do check out, catch it on that. And I've just started editing the Queen Mary Transatlantic vlogs, which will be hopefully the first episode will be out next week. So Reese is here. So let's see Reese and Catherine. It says Catherine's birthday today. Oh, happy birthday, Catherine.
Happy birthday.
Do you think that if you're celebrating a birthday cruise that you shouldn't have to pay for a birthday package and it should be free? That's a difficult one, isn't it? Because God, that would cost the cruise lines a fortune.
But I think yes, you're right. But unfortunately, as all of us are now getting to be seasoned cruisers, as every passing day, the cruise line is charging you for a little bit more, or they're cutting back on stuff. So I think, unfortunately, it's going to get to the point where you'll open your cabin door and it's like, oh, did you want a bed? Did you?
No, I think, expecting a bottle of bubbly or something like that may be too much, but I think a little card from the cruise line with a couple of little hors d'oeuvres or something, which isn't going to cost the company a lot of money, is just a really nice touch. And I think when you go on a cruise and you get those extra special little bits, it makes you think, do you know what, you go back. So I think, it's an investment from the cruise line as well, if they would do that. Oh, Alfie's here. Lovely to see you, Alfie. So that's
Alfie.
lovely. Joe's in the house too. Even we're heading off to Sydney next Wednesday on the 12-night cruise in New Zealand. Let us know any must-dos and must-see if any of you have been there before. Lovely. Sydney is fantastic place where you can actually get around by water taxi. That would be my biggest tip for Sydney. It's ever so easy, and you get to see quite a lot, and it gives you great views of the Opera House and the harbour bridge as well. So that would be the first thing that I did, and that's what we did, and it was fantastic.
What's that strange park the other side?
Well, that's a Luna Park, isn't it?
That's a Luna Park,
there's a sort of an old traditional sort of.
You have to walk in through this giant head's mouth.
Head's mouth.
Yeah, it's a head.
It is, I know. But most heads have got mouths, haven't they? Just saying. Oh.
Anyway, I was at the time.
Nick was saying on a cruise that he was on. My significant had a birthday on a cruise last year. I mentioned this to congratulations, and then we had champagne and chocolates delivered to stateroom free of charge. So worth a mention. We always mention as well when you're booking. So when we book through Dan, I mean, he knows our details off by heart now. But always let your travel agent know if you are cruising and it is a special occasion, because you just never know. And make sure they write it on your booking, because some cruise lines do deliver, as Nick has said there.
What if you don't want liver though?
Anyway,
this is how naughty Carole is, and I couldn't believe that they fell for it. We stayed in the Marina Bay Sands for Carole's 50th. So that was about 35 years ago. And we stayed there in the January. Now, bearing in mind, Carole's birthday is in the July. And at reception, when we checked in, bearing in mind, they'd taken our passports off us, Carole said, "Oh, it's my 50th birthday." They're like, "Oh, wow, happy birthday, blah, 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 and all this." Anyway, that evening, there's a knock on the door, and they come in, and there's a great big pot of all these sweets.
Well,
there's a big fruit basket.
That was another hotel.
No, that was...
Marina Bay Sands delivered a big chocolate cake, and then after because we did a few things in Singapore, went to Thailand, went back to Singapore. That was a hotel on Orchard Road. I told them it was my birthday, and I had a big jar of sweets with a balloon on the top. Yeah.
So basically,
it was my birthday year.
She's just a big. It's everybody's birthday year.
But it was my 50th, which is it's special, isn't it?
Big fat liar.
So lots of people here. Mandy's here. So lovely to see you. Happy New Year. Mad Max is here. So, and Cruising Gaze, nice to see you guys. So thank you, everyone. And Bob and Holly's here from San Diego.
Good evening, Bob and Holly.
So lovely to see you guys. Those that have watched our social media on our Azamara Onward Cruise, you'll have seen Bob and Holly, because we had a fantastic time with them. And just to let you know, if you're new to our channel, you're watching this for the first time, welcome. You can get it on catch up as well. And also just to let you know that if you are on the social media platforms, then you can also find us on Facebook, Paul and Carole Love Travel, Instagram, Paul and Carole, and Twitter, Paul and Carole. And we've also started doing a few cameos. If you want a special shout out, then do go and check that out too. But anyway, let's get to the next question. So Mark said Mark is really here together with our granddaughter Erin before we put to bed. Oh, so many people saying, everyone's saying hello, 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 hello. So Claire's here as well, saying it's still chucking it down there. So
I've checked the weather for Sunday, Monday,
and it looks
good. It's supposed to be sunny but cold. And I don't mind sunny but cold. It's supposed to be no rain at all.
And PJ's here from Boston. So Happy New Year. And Christopher said, Happy New Year to both from the knees. So Bob's asking, does Paul have gin or tea in that mug?
Nothing now.
It was coffee.
It was coffee.
Coffee.
I kept my fasting window up until 7 o'clock today, because I didn't eat anything hardly yesterday. So, but now I've switched to council pop, as we like to call it.
It's snowing in Ohio with Dave. Sorry, I can't speak. Can't wait to be in Miami next week. Yeah, Florida's been having bad weather too, though, hasn't it?
I wish it was true.
No, because we've been following a few people in Florida that are getting on cruises, and the weather's been really cold. So fingers crossed, David, it warms up for you. Commodore Steve said he can't see us. I presume everyone else can. Do let us know if that's a problem.
I think you're having a right result, Steve, if you can't see us.
Anyway, so let's have a look. So So we were finally booked on Iona. I know, not Morella for once. Yeah, you do like Morella. Have you ever taken the gamble of the automatic upgrade and did it pay off? We have a few times and it's paid off. We used to always, when we first started cruising, because our budget was a little bit smaller, we used to always, wasn't it, book an inside guarantee and see if we could get an upgrade. And sometimes it worked out. The only time it worked against our favour was with Virgin. We were in an obstructed balcony and we put a guarantee and we ended up above the nightclub, didn't we?
Yeah.
But apart from that, actually, it's been fine. As we're getting older and a bit pickier, and I now like to pick my cabins, I tend to get down to not tick that box for upgrades. So because I'm happy with the cabin that we paid for. So it depends, it depends what you want. But good luck. So, because you never know, do you? You just never know. Cruising for One is here, so lovely to see you here. Will this be your first Canada New England cruise? It'll be our first New England cruise, won't it?
Be our first Canada cruise.
Well, we went out of Vancouver, but yes, yeah. It will be our. We did one port in Canada for our Alaska cruise.
And that was to leave and get back again. So,
yeah, so actually for a full Canada cruise, yes,
sort of will be. Yeah.
So we did a land tour, didn't we?
Yeah.
So yeah. And that's zoom out. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway. So instance board saying cruise control. Yeah, signal strong, clear. Yeah, thank you. Joey saying hi, Paul and Carole. Sorry we can't make it to the next time for sure. Yeah, definitely, Joe. We're doing regular meetups whenever we can with all our patrons and YouTube members. So don't worry. I'm sure we'll meet you, which will be lovely. Nicola's just saying, good evening, hope you avoided the wild boar at Whitemead. We got rained out of Whitemead, actually. For New Year, we went away on our camper van, didn't we? And it was just torrential. It got to the point, I said to Paul, do you know what? We had planned to have some lovely walks in the woods. We were there with friends, which was lovely. We spent 2 nights with friends, and my sister and family popped over. But by day 3, with the torrential rain, we said, do you know what?
We've had enough.
We've had enough, so we came home.
And the beauty is we were only 40 minutes from where we live anyway, so we packed the van up and we both woke up about 9 o'clock New Year's Eve morning, and it was hammering down and the entertainment didn't start till about 8 o'clock in the evening. And I said to Carole, the thought of sitting in this van now for another 11 hours is just no.
So Danny O'Neill's here, wine throwing Danny from Azamara. Waiting for our first major storm tomorrow, up to 30 centimeters. Danny, they're in Newfoundland in Canada. So,
Well, I'm assuming that's snow, not rain. Is that snow or rain, Danny?
I guess it's snow. 30 centimeters could be rain. So, yeah.
Yeah, because what they do, they measure rain in centimeters, and they measure snow in goats. Let's
see. Now, Brian's asking the best 3 cruise lines in your humble opinion, please. Now, Brian, that's so hard to answer because each cruise line offers something different. So if you could ask the questions, are the best 3 cruise lines for food or the best for entertainment, in our opinion?
Everything's subjective.
But it is subjective.
But we're going to do it anyway. So it's Cunard, Saga, so our 3 favourites.
Wow.
And Morella and Princess. And
Royal Caribbean, we
Holland,
enjoy.
America. Is that more than 3?
It is. It's a difficult one, Brian, to be so specific, because we love. We've now been on 14 different cruise lines and 50 cruises, and there's not one that we can turn around and say, actually, we hated everything about it. There's some that we enjoyed more than others, but it needs to be a little bit more specific than that.
I'm not saying a word about that last.
What?
There's not one that we say.
Sean's here. So I've been late due to being at a funeral. Oh, sorry to hear that, Sean, but lovely to see you here. So Sarah says she's on the Somerset levels, so they're flooded everywhere. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? The weather, terrible. So let's have a. Rosa said, "Oh, no adverts already." Do you know, we hard about putting monetization on, and we put it so that an advert, because last week we forgot to turn monetization, we turned it off and we forgot to put it back on, which was a disaster, but that's another problem. So what we've done is we've kept monetization on, and you should have one advert every 24 minutes. Yeah. So, but just skip past it, it's not a problem. So Spencer Davis said that good evening from windy Jersey, storm force 10 at the moment. It messed my hair up on the walk home, that's for sure. Well, I bet it is, because you're really exposed there, isn't it? So let's have a look. Question. Let's have see. Lynn's asking. So hi there, Lynn. Just to say we love to watch you. We're booked on Queen Anne towards the end of 2024. What are you looking forward to? I'm looking forward to getting in the cabin and seeing what changes they've made, because even though we've loved Cunard cabins, they're very dated, and I want to see if they've moved with the times. I'm looking forward to seeing what they've done with the Queen's Room, to see if they've kept it as authentic as it has been.
I think they get lynched if they made too many, if they did too much modernisation. If they gentrified the Queen's Room,
gentrified,
I think there'd be like the villagers would come out with their pitchforks and torches.
Oh, is there anything you're particularly looking forward to?
Queen's Room,
yeah,
and to see as well, because I might have mentioned that I like food.
Well, see how big the pub is, because the pub's always really popular on the other ships. And if you want to do a quiz or you want to get somewhere, it's quite hard to get seats. So I want to see, I'm hoping that they've got a really big space there, because it's a great place to be. And they do great lunchtime food there, don't they? I'm
looking forward to it all.
Yeah, we're very excited about getting on Queen Anne. So let's have a look. So Nick's asking, celebrity are getting expensive with packages. What cruise line would you recommend for 50-year-old cruisers who prefer a relaxed cruise with good food and drink, preferably around the UK? Well, because you mentioned 50, and we've just been put a post out about Saga. They're a very good product. They're not cheap, but they do what you get for what you get. What you pay and what you get for in Saga is a lot, because you get door-to-door transport, you get specialty dining.
What you get and what you pay for.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I don't know if anybody else does, mate. So I don't know if we got like a translation app underneath.
And you also get free use of the spa.
What you get for your money is not cheap. When you look at the base price, what Carole's trying to say is, when you look at the base price, you think, oh, that's quite expensive. But bear in mind, it includes transport from your house to the port. It includes insurance. It includes all your drinks. There's no top package, bottom package. It's all your drinks. It includes all the specialty restaurants. There's nothing to pay at all apart from spa treatments. You can visit the spa as much as you like, which is free of charge. And it's a really, really nice spa. You know, they've got steam rooms and saunas and a lovely hydrotherapy pool. All that's included. Even some of your excursions are included. So it's a sort of, before people look at it, because we've put stuff on and people say, oh, Saga's far too expensive. You want to go with so. It's like, well, yeah, but if you compare the two base prices, then Saga's going to be more expensive.
They are,
but that's
expensive.
It. That's it. You don't have to pay. So if you don't want to go to the spa and you don't want to pay for an excursion, you'll still go on excursions, because there's free excursions, which we did.
Yeah.
But that is it. So if it's a $2,000 for your cruise, it's $2,000.
Yeah.
Not like you're saying, you know, with celebrity and all the packages now, you know, and gratuities are included as well.
Yeah.
So we got told the other day that Royal Caribbean, I think somebody was saying it's $18 per person per day gratuities, and that's including children. So if you've got 2 children of any age in your cabin, you're going to be paying $76 a day gratuities.
So it's just worth sitting down doing the maths and just working out actually what is the things that you enjoy doing, and if you had to pay for those with certain. Because people say, I've got a really cheap cruise. I cruise for £60 a night. You get on board, but when you get home, actually, it worked out £200 a night because of all the add-ons. So it's not just that base cruise price that you get. It's what it is altogether.
Because apparently Costa, you can get on Costa for about 35p a night.
No, you can't. Not that cheap.
You don't even get a glass of water with your meals.
Well, yeah,
is what we've
not been on them, so that's just what hearsay.
You've got to pay for everything.
So
would you like some salt and pepper, sir? Like some black pepper, sir?
But
yes.
Going back to
as a pound.
But going back to Nick's question, I think as well, you know, we're just back from Azamara. If you love good food and your drinks included, Azamara are a good product. And you know, like I say, we just had a very good experience. Experience on onward. So there are those smaller lines, and I know Ken's not in it, but a few people in the chat have done Oceania as well. So it depends on your budget, and I think the smaller ships are far more about the cruise experience rather than the bling and the entertainment. So if that's what you want, just a relaxed cruise, watching the world go by, then that would be a good choice too. So Emma Cruz is in the house. Hey, lovely to see you here. So let's have a look. So. Oh, Kevin Bateman's going up against Kevin B. Look, the OG Kevin B. Ooh. So Holly's here. Love to see Holly. Morris is just asking. Nice to see you here, Morris. Hi, everyone. Question: best advice for Petra Excursion?
Well, I'll tell you what. Put your walking shoes on this way.
We did an excursion with Morella, didn't we?
We did. I can't remember how much it was, but it was worth every penny. It's fabulous, but if you're not fit and active, you need to choose wisely, because we walked, and I don't think I'm exaggerating, we walked 11 miles.
It was crazy what we did.
It was hot.
Yes, it was very hot.
But you can. It's tricky because when you go in, it's all downhill, which obviously means when you're coming back, it's all uphill. But there is options of, you can ride a horse. There's horse and carts. There's camels. And there's golf buggies.
I didn't see camel.
Yeah, there was camels. Yeah, there was camels. I can show you.
Oh yes, of course there was. Down the bottom end.
Now, what I will say, we're very anti, like when you go to Greece and you're riding a donkey up a hill. We're very anti that. But what I will say about all the animals that were being used at Petra is they all looked in fantastic condition, properly well looked after, and they had tons of them. So they would work in shifts. So it'd only be so many, and then all the rest would be having a lovely graze and being fed and watered. So so normally I would say I wouldn't entertain saying ride a horse down there, or could do a horse and cart, but having seen it firsthand, unless things have changed, they certainly do look after them. But there's back to the fitness thing. What you can also tag onto Petra Excursion, which is what Mark and Marie did, which is to go up to that. It's like a cathedral thing.
It wasn't called that.
No, I didn't say it was called that. I said it's like a cathedral.
But that was even more walking.
But that's even more walking, and it's very precarious to steps. So if you're a bit unsteady on your feet, be very careful.
A few people have mentioned about the adverts. Just click past them. If you mentioned earlier, I turned monetization off last week. I forgot to put it back on. But you should only be getting one advert every 24 minutes. But I need to have a rethink about that, because it is frustrating. So let's have a look at other questions. Cheryl, we can't answer that about solar cruises because we don't know. But if anyone in the comments, please, of cruise solar with Saga, then please do let us know. Wanda sounds like she's got a good 3 cruises booked for this year. Wonder the Seas next month, NCL Encore to Alaska, and NCL during November. I'm set and ready to travel. That's a great lineup. We still haven't done NCL yet, which we desperately want to do. And Wonder the Seas looks amazing ship. It's huge. And we still want to do a large Royal Caribbean.
We still want to do a big old bangery one, yeah.
So let's see. Emma's saying they used to give out birthday cakes and things. My dad had one once upon a time, I remember. Yeah, I think they did. It's just like cutting costs again, isn't it? For Jason's off on Morella Voyager for 2 weeks Caribbean cruise for our honey. I presume you mean honeymoon.
unless he's a beekeeper.
Well, could be. Zach's asking, we're going on the Morel Explorer 2 this year. Which specialty restaurant would you recommend? On Explorer, they have Carole and they have Surf and Turf. And both we had, we've done them on Discovery and we've done them on Voyager, and they were both excellent.
Yes.
So
now, I don't know if they've got, because they used to have a thing called the Diners Club. Now, on Voyager, they've done away with the Diners Club, and that's now Silver Fork.
That's right.
So I don't know if there's still a Diners Club on Explorer, but we haven't done it on Explorer anyway, but we have done the Silver Fork. So that was, I don't even know why I said that, because there was no use whatsoever that piece of information.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, never mind.
Lots of people saying about ads, so apologies for that. Frustrating. There should be every 24 minutes one should pop up. Anyway, so let's have a look. So where were we? Nicole's asked, is it worth getting Premier all-inclusive on Morella? No, it depends what you drink. If you go to our website, you'll be able to see all the prices and see what's available on the standard all-inclusive for Morella. Just Google Paul and Carole Love to Travel Morella drinks, and that should come up. And you just need to find out, if you're someone like us, that I enjoy wine and Paul enjoys like beer or cider,
I don't drink cider on Morella because they only have smelly old strong wine.
No, but I'm just saying sort of regular, pints and sort of glass of wine, then the standard all-inclusive will be good for you. However, if you enjoy specialty, top shelf liquors and specialty cocktails, then the Premier will be worth, because it's not that expensive. It works about £20 a day, I think, doesn't it?
There is cocktails on the standard package, but like Carole said, best thing to do, go to our website. It's got every drink listed, and it tells you what's included in the standard package and what isn't. And then what you can do is you can do the standard package, and then you might think, oh, I'm going to have a so-and-so cocktail today because it's my favourite, and you might have to pay like £7 for it. But you might only want one a day. But if you're going to have two a day, you might as well pay the extra. But it's all there, and you can have a peruse, and you can make your own mind up.
Sherry's brought it. Where was it I seen about just useful information for people? Actually, Sherry's getting very frustrated because she's one of our patrons. We've been talking about this a lot on our Discord, and she's on a cruise going to Brazil, and she's had nightmares with visas. She's saying that the cruise line, the TA can't do it for you. You can only use the official government site, as she said here, and it's caused huge problems. So if you are planning a cruise to that part of the world, then make sure you look into it yourself and not rely on that, because it's causing a lot of problems for people. It hasn't for us because we've not cruising to that part of the world. So let's have a look. Murray's just asking, hi from Chip and Sodbury. Happy New Year. Think of doing a river cruise over Christmas this year. Question, would Dan be able to help? Yes, Dan will be able to help. Actually, talking about Dan, we've invited him to join our live stream next week.
He said no, but we've invited him.
Yeah, he did. No, he didn't.
Trouble is, last week or the week before, I was being quite mean to Dan because I was confident he wasn't in the chat, and then all of a sudden he was lurking in the shadows like a ninja. He was. So I think Dan's a top bloke. You look at
yeah. So next week you can join us. So if you've got any questions for travel agents or any of those sort of questions that we can't answer, then please make sure you come along and ask Dan those. So Antoinette's here from sunny Barbados. Oh, don't rub it in. And Emma saying, please don't forget to like this. What's wrong with my voice today?
Please don't forget to like the stream, peeps.
Yes. So if you enjoy our live streams, then please do give us a thumbs up. That would be great. And Corinne's just saying the same. So thank you so much. So Neil is saying that it's only a month till our Oceania cruise, Bangkok to Singapore to Vietnam to Hong Kong. Count to the minutes. Cannot wait. That's a nice, fabulous itinerary, isn't it? So Scotters is here. So love to see you, Scotters. Happy New Year to you both. 2004, the year of Queen Anne. Can't wait. Exactly. Giddy already. Love Cunard. Yeah, yes. I agree. I think it's really exciting. I know there's lots of new ships that come out every year, but this is I think is a biggie. Cruise and Gaze are asking, how do you guys deal with roaming charges? We're looking at an international SIM for Asia as O2 wants silly money to use our phones in Singapore and Vietnam. £7.20 per megabyte for detail.
Well,
data.
Let me tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story. That's for the old people watching, by the way.
Yes.
It's Max by We're with Sky, and we thought they were the bee's knees, because when you go onto their list of countries that you can roam in, it had a great big long list, and it said if your country is not listed, then you have to pay worldwide roaming charges, which are like bonkers money. So we get to Barbados. I tried posting an Instagram post, and then I got a text from Sky saying that I've used £45 worth of data, and that they've capped it because that's the cap I set up. So when I got back, I phoned Sky, spoke to a lady in India, and they'd like to keep them local. And she said, Oh yeah, but what you have to do is when you go to the A to Z of countries, if the country is listed, what you have to do then is click on the country, and then it'll tell you whether it's included or not. And I said, so why does it say if your country is not listed,
Yeah.
it's not included?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you're not getting my point, are you? I said, well, I am getting your point. If I can't use my phone in Barbados, then don't put Barbados on the list. If I can't use my phone in Canada, don't put Canada on the list. And then when it says if your country is not listed, you can't use your phone there without being charged bananas money. That's quite even an idiot like me understands that. But oh no, what they do is they do the sneaky sneak, and then you think, oh yeah, that's covered, and then you use your phone, and it's like bang. So luckily, I'd set up a capping limit, because if I hadn't set up a capping limit, God knows how much I would be charged. And the best of it was, it didn't even post my Instagram post.
No, it didn't.
And it cost me 45 pence not to post it. So we're not the best people to ask about that.
Well, I think the eSIM, we've looked at different providers than Sky, and it seems that they all, like you say, O2 want silly money. So I think eSIM is the way forward. Yeah. However, we're not going to be doing that for when we go on our Asia trip, because from our experience, when we went to Thailand, well, we know that in Thailand...
what I love is when Carole said about an eSIM, she didn't even know what an eSIM was until about 2 weeks ago.
No, I didn't, but now I do know. But we've learned that in Asia, there is Wi-Fi everywhere. We never had any issues when we used to go to Thailand all the time pre-pandemic. So we're going to just sort of play it by ear, but potentially get an eSIM if we feel we need to. But I know that for parts of our holiday, we're going to be more accessible than others, aren't we? So it depends on that. But we're going to suss that out when we get there. But eSIM...
tell them what an eSIM is.
Well, it's a SIM that you sign up to. You don't have to physically put it in your phone.
So how do you get it then?
Well, you sign up for... I don't know. But it is, because I know I was talking to the hotel manager on Azamara Onward, and she just signed up for an eSIM, because we were talking about Wi-Fi on Azamara, which wasn't bad, but not brilliant.
Yeah. And I don't know what phone you got, but I got an iPhone 12, and you can download an eSIM to that. I haven't tried doing it yet because I don't know how. But so depending, I think a lot of modern day phones now, you can download an eSIM, and then you can use their rates from wherever you get it from.
Yeah, exactly that. Lots of people talking about the weather. Scotland, I hope to see you up north again. Hopefully we will be back sometime this year.
We gotta go right up north, because otherwise Sean's not going to speak to us ever again.
Exactly. Oh, Dave said in Florida it looks like it's 70 in the 70s, so hopefully it's warming up there too then. So Stephen's saying, we're sailing Cunard Queen Elizabeth. Do you recommend booking for afternoon tea?
You don't have to.
You don't have to book on Cunard.
No, you don't have to book.
Get there very early.
Get there early.
Yeah.
You don't have to book. Now, Queen Elizabeth, that's got the Queen's room in the centre of the ship.
Yeah.
And get there early. Try and get. I'm trying to work out where they would come from, but one of the most fabulous things about afternoon tea is when all the waiters come out dressed in all their finery, and it's like what I can best describe as like it's like a military march when they come out, and they come out and all fan off.
Yeah.
So get there nice and early, where you can get a good seat where you can see everything. It doesn't really matter where you're sitting for your food, because you're going to get the same food as everybody else. But you get there nice and early so you can get a nice seat and see where everybody is coming from, because it's fun. They
came from the back end of the opposite the stage on Queen Elizabeth when we were on there. So definitely get there early.
But you don't have to book. Well, you can't book.
So Jacqueline's asking, have you travelled on the Sky Princess? Is it okay to cruise to Norway? Love your content. You're both a hoot. Yes, and in fact we've got a vlog series all about cruising to Norway on the Sky Princess, so do check out our channel. Sky Princess is a beautiful ship, and that's why we picked it for our group cruise in 2025. We picked it because Princess, obviously you get all your Premier Plus all included, and it is a beautiful ship. So, and it's great for seeing Norway. We had a fabulous time, didn't we? We had really hot weather, didn't we, when we went?
Bob and Holly.
Yes, Bob and Holly were with us. We were on there with the cruise monkeys and the cruise boys. It was a real good fun, wasn't it? Really, really good fun. So no
alcohol at all. I wasn't on that ship.
Yeah, isn't that right, Bob? Yeah. Just app-offs and lots of crisps. Yeah. So let's have a look. So let's see. Sherry say Norway is a beautiful. It is. If I was going to say to someone, or if I could only cruise to one place, ever again, I think I would pick Norway, because Norway has got so many different, it's got all the beautiful fjords, but it's got some really interesting cities. You can go right up north to some beautiful, beautiful places, see the northern lights, see the midnight sun in the summer. It's just got it all, hasn't it? And it's just not too far from the UK. So I think it's a really good choice. Dan is saying snow, not rain. Told you.
How did I manage to be wrong in all that?
Paul was right the other day. He even put it on the calendar.
I put it on the calendar, yeah. My son came around earlier, as I said, to help me move the sofa. And I took him to where the calendar's hanging. And I said, look at this here, son. I said, can you clear your diary for the 27th of December this year? And he said, why, what's happening? I said, oh, I'm celebrating a year since I was last right, because I was right on the 27th of December. And he said, well, what was you right about? And I said, I can't even remember. I just remember I was right. And he said,
doesn't happen often.
And he said, so you don't think you're going to be right again before the 20th? I said, no. I said, that's it now. I said, but at least I can celebrate that every year now.
So Mark's saying, we offer a back-to-back cruise on Celebrity Edge soon. Nice. The Edge class ships are beautiful. Also going to Melbourne, Adelaide and Perth. Any must-see in these cities? Well, check out our video on Melbourne, because we've got 9 things that we've got to...
It's like they can't ask the wrong questions.
I know.
It's like...
So look, check that out on our YouTube channel, well, on here. Melbourne's a great city. Make sure you take advantage of the free... Where are you going? You're off, are you? No, of the free trams in a certain area of the city. Zone, that's the word. Oh, Melbourne, if you can, and you like penguins. Now, it's about an hour and a half from Melbourne, but there's an island called Phillip Island where there's a natural colony of little penguins that you can go and watch them coming out of the sea and feeding their young. And that was absolutely exceptional, wasn't it?
It's called the Phillip Island Penguin Parade.
Yes.
And it's the smallest penguins on planet Earth.
Yes.
And they measure in at 13 inches.
Yeah.
And they're as cute as a button, as
they
our
are.
American friends would say.
But Melbourne's got so much going for it. We really enjoyed the visit to the gaol, the jail, Melbourne gaol.
Jail.
It's spelled G-A-O-L. We're Ned Kelly. So for Melbourne, but do check
Melbourne
out that
jail. They've got a Chinatown, which the food we went there we went there all the
food
time.
was amazing.
It was fabulous. If you like gambling, they've got the most spectacular gambling complex.
Yeah, the Crown Plaza.
The Crown Plaza. But yeah, there's lots and lots to do in
Victoria
Melbourne.
Market. That's a must see in Melbourne.
So yeah, like
huge.
Carole said, if you go onto our blogs, it will say in the description of each video what we did and when we did it.
In Adelaide, we got picked up by my friend that I used to work with, Andy, as a nurse, and he took us. It was boiling hot that day when it was so hot. It was about nearly 40 degrees, and it was just, we were just melting. And he took us to a little German village, didn't he?
But that's what you think.
I know.
Right, what are we going to do today? So he took us to a German village.
And you had the biggest sausage ever, didn't I?
I had the biggest wanger of a sausage I've ever seen in my life. It was like, hang on, where's my hands? It was about like that. But that's in the blogs as well. I managed to shove it in my face. So as well.
And Perth, we went up to the park. I can't remember the name of the park. That's a beautiful park in Perth. And we didn't get a lot of time to have a look around Perth. We got taken out by some lovely Donna and Gavin, and they took us for a drive around Perth, and we just sort of walked around, really, didn't we?
The first place we went to see was a graveyard.
Oh, yes.
Because Bon Scott, original singer of AC/DC, is buried in the graveyard in Perth, and he's got a big
that's right,
a big memorial thing there. He's originally from Scotland, by the way. I don't know if I did, I like these lives to be educational. And
then we went to the Lucky Shag for some food, didn't we?
Yeah, Lucky Shag's good as well.
But fabulous. You'll have an amazing time, Mark. Australia's awesome. We're definitely looking already, aren't we, at tentatively getting back there in the next couple of years. Linda's asking, what's the average age on a Saga cruise? Are they mostly really olders? There are a lot of old people on there. There's no two ways again about it. We felt that we were the youngest in our 50s, but there were a lot of people in their 60s too, weren't there?
Well, you've got to be, is it 50?
Yeah.
You've got to be 50 to go on.
Well, you can be 40 if you're traveling with someone that's 50. But I would say the average age is about 70. But they were lively. It depends on the crowd, doesn't it? Because they're old people. Because there could be old people that are old people, and there could be old people that are party animals. And I've never seen such a long conga as I've seen on Saga.
No,
so it depends on the crowd. And just because someone's old doesn't mean that they're fun and they're not good company. So we had a great time on Saga. We had a great laugh,
we like going on there because we're like, we're the two hottest when we get on there. So we're like stud
Dave, yes, Dave Holland's on a transatlantic, trying NCL from NCL Joy from Miami to Southampton. I'm just editing our Queen Mary vlogs, and we loved our transatlantic, didn't we?
It was great.
7 days at the sea, you think, oh my God, that's going to be boring, but it was such a great experience. So Lionel's just asking, we are celebrating our 50th anniversary next year in February. What line would you recommend sailing at the UK?
Well, it's the sea above, isn't it? Saga.
Well, yes, that's 50th anniversary. Yeah. There's so many good lines in it. Like we explained to the guy that was saying, what's our favorite cruise line? What do you like? Is it entertainment you like? Is it food? So I think you need to be a bit more specific than that, because it could be.
I know it's almost like we're on a Saga crusade tonight, but you get to a certain age in life, and we love going on, the big ships. We love going on all the ships, but what we love about going on smaller ships, when you go out for the evening, you leave your cabin, you never think to yourself, oh, I wonder if I'm going to be able to get a drink in the first 40 minutes. Because when you're on a smaller ship, it's always like there's no queues, it's easy to get served, it's not a bum fight. You go on the bigger ships, and it just seems like, and with the cutbacks as well, you're constantly looking around, trying to get the waiter's attention. You're losing the will to live. You're dying of dehydration where you ran out of beer for almost 8 minutes. It's so it is. It's all about perspective, and one man's this is another man's that. Whatever the saying is, Carole won't know because she don't know sayings. But it's what you're into. But I think if you did a Saga cruise, I certainly don't think you'd be disappointed, and especially if it's your 50th anniversary, because they'll properly look after you.
Yeah. Michelle's asking, what's the best cruise to avoid seasickness? Never been on a cruise before, but would love to do when I get travel sick, just in a car. You need to pick a big ship, and you need to pick a cabin that's right in the middle of the ship and as low down as possible. And you need to pick something that's in wherever you're sailing from, Michelle. I'm not sure if you're in the UK or US or wherever you are. You need to pick the season, which is like your summer. So the chances of having good weather are good. So, but try it and just make sure you take your medication, because you might be really surprised that actually on these bigger ships, you don't hardly feel any movement unless you are going through, some really bad weather.
But it's like if you're in the UK, we had this conversation years ago with some friends, and it's like, I want to try a cruise and blah, 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 blah. And we get a bit seasick. And we said, what we would recommend, if you're going to do a first cruise, you don't mind fly to somewhere in Europe, like Barcelona or Rome or Naples or somewhere like that, where cruises regularly
in the
summer when it's the proper nice weather.
Yeah.
And go and get a cruise from there that's only going to go around the Med, and that could be like the yardstick then of whether you could then cope with one going from somewhere else. So what they did is took no notice of us whatsoever. They went on a cruise to Barcelona, but they went from Southampton. And then they were like, oh, well, it was awful. We went through that Bay of Biscay, and it was like, oh, we were all seasick. It's like, well, what part of fly to Barcelona and then get that lovely calm water for the entire time there? When you're seasoned cruisers like us, well, even Emma, I don't know how many cruises Emma's done now, she still gets seasick.
Yeah. I got seasick on Azamara. But I took some medication and I was fine.
Take some medication, you're fine. But if it's your first one, because the worst thing you can do is pick the wrong cruise from the wrong place, and it will put you off for life. So if you are in the UK, I would recommend doing a fly cruise out of somewhere in the Med at a nice time of year. June, July. On a big ship. On a bigger ship. June, July, August.
Yeah. Big ship, we mean sort of 2,000 passengers plus.
Plus, yeah. Not like a tiddler.
Yeah. So David's just asking, I know you mentioned not saying on NCL. Have you, or are you booking with them? We want to book. We haven't booked. We had a cruise book with them on Norwegian Bliss pre-pandemic,
Yeah, and they let us down, Dave. They let us down. They cancelled it because there was a pandemic.
And Instant Broad saying about green apples and ginger. Yeah, that's good. If you are on a ship, just green apples and ginger always works. I was having on Azamara because it was quite in the Caribbean. It can get really windy, and there was quite a bit of movement. Just a couple of days on this cruise, wasn't it? And I was having ginger ale, just with some ice, and that actually seemed me right.
What were we having every morning?
What we're having every morning?
Ginger shots.
Oh yes, they do some fantastic ginger shots and smoothies in the buffet on Azamara, and I was having ginger shots, and that just seemed to keep us going. Emma's saying Chris Frame, who's been visiting Queen Anne, he's an Australian guy. You've probably all heard of Chris Frame. He's very famous Australian.
It's huggy. It's huggy.
It's huge. It's the whole width of the ship, I think. Oh, fabulous. Hope so.
I prefer it. I think that says it's huggy.
Huggy. Oh, let's have a look. Let's have a look. So, as we're first-time cruisers, so Sarah's asking, as we're first-time cruisers and booked on Queen Anne Britannia Club, do you know if on an evening you can wear jeans in the Britannia Club restaurant? Also, can you take spirits on board? No and no, isn't it? Jeans in the Britannia restaurant, I think if they were smart, sort of canvas-type jeans, and you had a shirt on with a collar, you could get away with it. You couldn't on a gala night.
No, I always wear
chinos. And you have navy blue ones, don't you? You have navy blue, green.
I've got chinos of different colours, and I've never been turned away from anywhere. But like I said, on a gala night, to go into the main dining room, they do like you to make an effort. But I still don't think you get turned away. If you had like a pair of chinos on and a jacket and a shirt and a tie, I don't know that they turn you around. You don't have to wear a dinner suit everywhere.
No. And we've gone into the Britannia on non-gala nights and you haven't worn a jacket on it and it's fine. No. Just as a collared shirt. Yeah. So, and spirits on Cunard, you can take wine on board, but you can't take spirits, can you? I'm pretty sure, because I know you can take spirits on P&O, but just need to check that, Paul. If you check your post you wrote. But I'm pretty sure on Cunard it's just bubbles or wine. But I know on P&O you can take a small amount of spirits. I'm sure you can. So Yvonne's also says Saga also include Wi-Fi. Yes, that's a good point as well. We didn't mention that, did we?
So Claire's multitasking because she's on Discord and she's on our live.
Oh,
I can't answer that, can I? I can't multitask, Claire, but I think we are eating in the pub, aren't we, on Sunday?
Yes, we're planning to.
Yeah, we booked a table. What time?
1:30.
Yeah, so we booked a table. Yeah, we're planning to eat because obviously we're going to be Ankh Marvin.
We are. So David just saying NCL gratuity is $20 per person per night, and that's from 3 years ago. Wow, really? Whoa. Tom and Dom have not just arrived. We just get slow getting to the comments because there's been so many here. So lovely to see you guys here.
They probably left again though. We took them so long to give them a mention. It was like half an hour ago.
And Neil's just saying again about Oceania. Many cruise lines play every trick of the book to get the base price down. We booked on Oceania, but isn't much different in prices. It includes most stuff, including excursions and all restaurants. Yeah. And a good point about smaller ships. Sherry saying that smaller ships like Oceania and Regent don't have huge production shows, but they get a lot more into ports, don't they? Because obviously they're far smaller.
It is. I mean, and that's like the draw. I love entertainment. When I go on a cruise, the two things that are. Oh, I know it sounds like weird now, and Carole may look at me. She may not, but I find the food and entertainment to be as important, if not more so sometimes, than the ports. But Carole's more port-driven than me. But great entertainment, I just absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to go on Azamara or Saga or those smaller lines, you're still going to get a good standard of people. They're going to be good singers. They're going to be good dancers. But you're not going to get, like on Celebrity Beyond, the production shows on there, and I'm sure other people are coming with NCL and places. You know, they do like Kinky
big West End type
big
shows,
West End shows.
Broadway
They are
shows.
off the chain good.
Yeah.
But you've got to sacrifice one thing for another. So if you want to get to the smaller ports, like we went to Guadeloupe
Yeah.
With Azamara, well, you wouldn't
Which
be
was
doing
lovely.
you wouldn't be doing that on a 6,000 passenger ship. So it's all swings around.
Scottish is just saying, which is great. If you've got must-do trips, if you're traveling to Bonaire, is to hire a golf cart for the day. Cannot recommend enough. Great day out and very easy to drive around the island and see the flamingos. So Bill said, take down that Christmas tree. It's the 6th, isn't it? You can keep it up to the 6th.
12th night or something.
Yeah, so but we will. I like the spark. I'm going to really miss it. I really enjoyed having our lights twinkling away. So let's have a look. So Kath is here saying first time I caught you live, so thank you for joining us. Dan is here. Look, Dan the Cruise is here. Good evening.
What time do you get here? About 10 to 8?
7:30. 7:30.
You can take a bottle of wine or champagne per person on Cunard.
Yeah, but no spirits. But I know P&O you can take some spirits, can't you? Because I know we've taken some gin on before.
But I'm saying that if you've got it concealed in your whatever,
Paulie,
I don't know how they would know the difference between a bottle of wine or a bottle of spirits. Or might I suggest putting the spirits in the wine bottle?
Just saying. No. Right, so lots of people asked me. Talked a lot about Saga, so I'm not going to. Nick's on about flights. Why are some UKs more expensive than others? This year, flights are from Gatwick, as he was over £400 more. Also flying with EasyJet should we be worried? Usually fly BA. We've had good.
Yeah, I would be worried.
No, we've flown with EasyJet a few times and never had any issues. They're bone basic, but they do the job, and we've never had any issues.
As long as you don't mind standing up for the flight. No. It's like being on the tube now. They got them handles where you hold on to for 4 hours. Like this.
Flights are crazy prices at the moment. Our Asia trip has been the most expensive part about it has been the flights, hasn't it? But that's just the way it is. And if you want to get to these far-flung places and you can't drive or get a cruise all the way there, then
you got to fly.
You got to fly, yes. So Emma's just saying about this, yes, because this is all new with YouTube. So thanks, Emma, for that. I have the ads on my live stream, but I untick the midstream box. YouTube told me to turn them back on, but I think they're too annoying. Maybe a good compromise. Thank you. Yeah, because I turned them off and then turned them on, and then I forgot to turn our monetization on last week at all. So it's just so thanks for that. Appreciate that tip. Karen saying she's looking forward to part 2 of our New York vlog. Thanks for the tip about the free ferry in part 1. I'll be trying it when we go to New York in a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's the Staten Island ferry. We had such fun with Kevin, didn't we? New York is just a city like no other, and it is, isn't it, Paulie?
It is.
It's absolutely amazing. So have a fabulous time. We're definitely going to be going back. Someone else asking about afternoon tea on Cunard. So let's have a look at this. Emma says Dan's lurking here. Oh,
he's a lurker.
Yeah, and people are talking about afternoon tea. Jeff saying, I'm not sure whether the visa affects all nationalities. No, I think it's for those in the US. So Mandy's just asking about the coach connection on P&O. We've not done that because if we go from Southampton, we drive. But if anyone's done that, if they could let Mandy know.
I know that the coach connections always used to be a very popular thing. And I think when you book a certain, Dan will be able to answer this, but when you book a certain standard of cabin, you can either get so much onboard spends, free parking, or the coach transfer. And then the coach transfer sort of died a death because and that was on Iona. We were on Iona, and it was just coming out of the pandemic where you still had to test. And 2 people tested positive on the coach out of the 50 people that was on there. And despite the fact that the other 48 people had already got on the ship, they made them all get off again.
Yeah,
which seemed absolutely ridiculous. So then so it's all well and good you saying, right, I've done a test in my kitchen to make sure that I'm okay. But then if you get there and Bert, who you don't even know, who's got on in Preston, if he's positive, then you can't go on the cruise. And I think that was when there was a hoo-ha, but now we're all
we're past that.
I think
I don't think it would be a worry.
I think the thought of getting on a coach and being able to get your head down or do whatever, it sounds quite appealing to me, to be honest. If I was good.
Well, that's why we're going to London on the coach. Yeah. We've chose that because there's been lots of disruptions with rail and tube and stuff in there at the moment. Yeah. So we're getting the coach and we're we just thought that would be an easier way. Like you say, just get in your seat and chill out, and before you know it, you're there. So let's have a look. So Cruising Gay is saying, Jacqueline, sky's beautiful and fabulous for Norway. We're doing that trip again in April. It's got a lovely aft. It has got a lovely aft to watch the sailorways through the fjords. Yeah, it has. It's got a lovely little pool there and a bar, and it's perfect. We've got some good time lapses from there. So yeah, Sky is a great ship. We can't wait to get back on in 2025. So Andrew Jeffries asking, question, we booked Ambassador a year ago to go on August cruise, but since we booked, the price of the cruise has plummeted and we have paid full price. Do you think it's best to sit tight and wait? Oh, difficult one. It depends on how much you lose, isn't it? If you've paid, but if you've paid a full price, you can't.
I don't understand what he's saying.
Dan might be able to help you with that.
But I don't, yeah, what do you mean? Well, if you've booked it and paid for it, what?
Have you paid your full balance yet? That's the key question. He said she's paid full price.
Yeah, but when he says, do you think I should sit tight and wait? Sit tight and wait for what? I don't understand. Sorry, am I being a bit thick? I don't understand the question there.
My interpretation is that they booked it and then the price has plummeted. And he's asking, do you think it's best to sit tight and see if the price or to lose the deposit would be my thinking? But
okay.
I don't know, Andrew, if you just give us a bit more information, and maybe Dan's here as well. He may be able to help you. Penelope's here. Love to see Penelope. Hi, everyone. Happy 2024. Sorry, I had to get hubby's dinner. Oh. Claire's here. She said, good morning. In the ferry lineup, waiting to go across to Vancouver Island. I'll be on the inside passage for 1.5 hours. Oh, enjoy.
Nice.
Lovely. And Penelope's also saying, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, please give us a thumbs up. That'd be great if you've enjoyed our live stream. So there's lots about being to Phillip Island. Mandy said, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I love cemeteries. Says Vintage Peep Show a go-go, and who is actually Margot in Nevada, USA.
Hello, Margot.
Jacqueline's asking, where can I get information on your group cruise for 2025? If you go to our website and just go to the top banner, or if you're on a mobile, the drop-down menu, just put group cruise, it'll pop up and just pop, and you can see all the information there. If you want to know more information, you can just fill in the booking form on our booking page as well, and it'll go directly to Dan, and he'll be able to help you out. Sherry said, Lucky Shag has an entirely different connotation in the US.
It does here as well, Sherry. It does here, but it's actually a bird. It's the name of a bird, a shag. But yes, I think it means the same here as it does in America. But that's why when Donna said, we're going to go to the Lucky Shag for a beer, we couldn't possibly turn it down because we thought it was hilarious.
We did. It was great too, wasn't it? It was right on the waterfront. It was a nice pub.
Busy.
It was busy. So Jack is saying, after watching your content on Emma's, we are cruising again. We're on the Sun Princess in October. Very excited. Yes, enjoy. And that's great to hear. And that's why we're here, isn't it? That's why we started to share our experiences. And for you to we get a lot of people that watch our channel that don't cruise, and that's great. But it's here to say this is the information, and you can say, well, actually, cruise is not for me, or it is for me, and that's great to hear. And I think one of our best comments we get loads of times, mostly every day, is thank you for introducing the cruise. And we now had our first cruise, and we had a brilliant time.
And the other comments we get all the time is, why don't you two shut up?
And good point. River cruise is wonderful to avoid seasickness. Exactly. So yes, let's have a look to see. We're conscious that we've gone over the air, but let's see if we've got any more questions we can answer.
And that's such a good, because again, a river cruise is a fly type cruise, because I don't know, unless you want to go on.
You can go by Eurostar if you're in the UK. You could get on a cruise by Eurostar.
So you can avoid seasickness and air travel.
Yeah,
so. Just
speak to Dan. He'll be able to sort that out for you. We're home to our first Cunard cruise this year. We're going to Transatlantic New York on Cunard. Then we may add 6 days later, QE 6 days later for an Alaskan cruise. Do you think that is worth doing? Both worth doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely both worth doing. We had the most fantastic summer cruising around Europe on Morella Voyager to start with. Then we went to Alaska. We went to our Canada land tour, went to Alaska, and then we flew out to New York and we cruised back on the QM2. And it was probably one of the best summers ever, wasn't it, Paulie? It was absolutely fantastic.
It wasn't bad.
So definitely worth doing. Sherry's saying don't do a med cruise in August, very hot and crowded. It can be, but if you do like the heat and
but we were just trying to think of a way around having smooth seas, but obviously somebody's come up with a great idea.
Yeah.
But having said that, I'm not disagreeing with a river cruise, but a river cruise is nothing like an ocean cruise.
No.
It's a totally different ball game altogether. We've only done a couple of river cruises.
Yeah.
We may have another one coming up, who knows?
We may.
But it's totally different animal. And what I'd liken a river cruise to is like when you do a city break, you might go somewhere for a city break, go to London for the weekend, for instance. That'd be a good idea.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it?
So you get to go to these places and you get to spend virtually all day. Sometimes you get an overnighter now and again, but it's a great place to get little tiny snippets of places that are right on the river. But it's not like ocean cruising. It's a totally different, I know it sounds daft, but it's a different animal altogether.
Yeah. Emma says she's done 60 cruises. She's not cured of seasickness yet either.
No.
Oh, yeah. And Emma saying I was looking at World Cruise with Ambassador. Ooh, it's 72 sea days. 72? No, couldn't do it.
I don't think I'd want to do 72 days
no.
on Ambassador, let alone 72 sea days. But...
And Warren saying about seasickness, so ginger. Yeah, it does seem to work. It really does seem to work.
Is that like Candyman? If you say that 3 times, will he appear?
Oh.
Ooh, ginger.
So let's have a look.
Nothing
no. My boyfriend and I will be doing our 3rd cruise since last May, this March, Paris to Normandy. Lovely. Let's have a look because Amira's asked, do you feel any movement on a river cruise? No, we didn't. You can feel a little bit, actually, a little bit of vibration towards the back of the boat, boat. We did on our Tui.
I think it is a boat.
Tui Isla cruise. It was quite, the restaurant, it had a little vibration from time to time. Yeah. However, but not movement as in
no, you wouldn't even know you wouldn't even know you were going along unless you looked out the window.
Right, so let's have a look to see. Rebecca's asking about our shop. Are you going to do small items in your shop? Yeah, I've got a meeting with our shop lady tomorrow, so we're going to be talking about all things. We put the sort of, to open the shop up, we've got our some of our obviously t-shirts and sweatshirts and things like that.
Pens would be a good idea. I don't know.
But it's whether you we've looked at pens, but it's obviously about volume of pens. It's hard to just sell one pen. But anyway, it's lots.
Well, it's not. I mean, if you want this pen, as used by Paulie Morgan of Paul and Carole Love to Travel, bids are starting at £25.
25 pounds.
But that does include postage and packaging.
But no, we're looking at other things. We're looking at sort of generic t-shirts, and we're looking at a group cruise t-shirt and all sorts, aren't we? So yes. And Claire saying her tree's up to the 12th night as well. Really miss the pretty when it's gone. Exactly. Claire saying don't forget to give us a thumbs up. So thank you so much if you've already done that, and if you haven't, please give us a thumbs up. It just lets YouTube know that you enjoy what we do. Kevin's asking where are the Go Cruise and Travel advertisements. I'd like to watch those.
They won't pay. They just won't pay the money, Kevin, is the problem. And it's only 5p to advertise.
Oh dear. Scott is just saying about entertainment on P&O. P&O entertainment's really good. Their production shows are excellent.
I have to say, and credit where it's due, because if I'm going to be Mr. Grumpy, we did Iona the first time, and it was fairly new into Iona's inception, if that's the right word. And I have to say, I thought that the headliner theatre company was
very good.
No, let me finish. Please interrupt an elephant. I thought they were very average. And then we went back on, and they absolutely blew me away. And it was one of the best theatre companies we'd seen. And so I don't know whether it was the same people or not, or they were just quite, when they're all brand new, it's sometimes just quite hard. But what I will say is when we went on Morella Voyager, that was a brand new show team that had just been put together. And you'd have thought they'd been together for 5 years. And like I said, the headliners, when they were the same. The second time we saw them, they were
Nikki's asked about our
fabulous.
ball. That's actually from, that one's from St. Martin. Yeah, so not from Florence.
Your eyesight's better than mine, Nikki. I've got a job to see it from here.
The Flying Scotsman here, cruise director. Hey, we cruised with you on Carnival Celebration and had a fabulous time. Hope to see you on a cruise in the future. Yes, we definitely go on Carnival again because it was great fun, wasn't it?
But he doesn't do that.
I think you've been promoted.
You've been promoted.
I remember looking at your social media. Congratulations.
And do you know Louis? What's his surname?
Louis.
Yeah.
I've forgotten his surname, but Louis is now with you. He used to be on Morella.
I think he's on Celebration.
I think he is on Celebration. Yeah, you've got a great team, great carnival. The fun squad are awesome. Let's have a look because we're way over now. It's 10 past, so let's have a look see if there's any more questions. Let's have a look.
Louis Livesey. Was that Livesey?
Nick said, "Are these live streams limited to our own hours? We seem to get conscious of time. We could watch you for ages." Well, thank you very much. I think an hour, I think
the only reason we're sticking around is we got no sofa to sit on. So
we can sit here all night.
I'm sitting on this chair. I'm either sitting here or going to bed. So.
We're happy to stick around if you've got any more comments. So just pop them down the bottom if you've got another comment, because we're happy to go through all the questions. Nick said they went to the Med in September and the weather was perfect, still over 30 degrees. C.
Louis Clare.
And Will from the Shire said, "I'm late." You are late. Louis Clare, of course Louis it Clare. Is. Yes.
I said Livesey. That's his mum's name, isn't it? Diane.
Yes. Mandy's asking, is there any chance you could do some how to edit your Insta 360 and GoPro footage vlogs? We've got all the equipment but are clueless.
No.
No. Do you know it's not some things that we've thought about doing. The best thing to do, Mandy, is get on YouTube and watch some videos on how to do it because that's how you've sort of self-taught.
I'm
trial and error.
The daft thing is to try and explain something is like quite difficult. But I could literally sit down with somebody for 5 minutes, and you would know what you were doing to a standard.
Yeah.
But if you went on to if I did a tutorial on YouTube or something, I think it'd just be embarrassing. I think we get enough stick now for our stuff, so I tend to think it'd be like a great big sausage.
But with your Insta 360, it has been just trial and error. And the same with my GoPro. My default is to ask Bob from Instant Support if I got any questions about my GoPro because he's just
so
got
ask Bob.
No. Oh.
There you go, Bob. There's your next video sorted.
So Warren was saying, question, how do you like Hispania Horizon and more places around the world? We love it. And we can't wait to explore more. So we've got some new countries coming up next month, haven't we? Yes. So that's exciting. And Karen was saying we were on the same I Own cruise you last year and agree the entertainment was great. It was shocking the first season though.
Yeah, no, there you go then. I'm glad that somebody agreed to me. We went to the show that I think Jonathan Wilkes wrote. And it was about when they were all like in tents or something, weren't they? And I can't remember what it was called.
Festival.
And we were lucky enough to meet Jonathan Wilkes, and he's a lovely man, to be fair. And we met him a few years ago in Rome, and he's obviously done this show, and we went to see it.
It wasn't our cup of tea.
Well, I just thought it was awful, to be honest. And the reason I thought it was awful because I don't think the show team were very good, or they were in their fledgling years of like starting out. But I thought it was so bad that when we went on our own the second time, we didn't even go to see it. And then everybody who went to see it, because we knew a fair few people on the ship, they said, "Oh my God,
really
that show was fantastic." And it's like, well, what's happened then? And I think obviously the show team had got to grips with stuff. Yeah. And then so we started, we wasn't even going to bother to go to the theatre. It was that bad the first time. And then we started going to the shows for the rest of the week. And they were brilliant. Great. And then I felt gutted that I hadn't got to see festivals.
So I think it was just that particular show rather than that actual show theme.
Yeah.
So, let's jump. So let's have a look. So let's have a quick look here then. So Ron said 26 days till my Holland America 18-night round trip from San Diego circa Hawaii. What?
Mandy wants to know what time they need to come around for the camera lessons.
Yes, but just say to Rhonda here, that awesome cruise. Hawaii is on our to-do list. Yeah, Mandy's just saying, what time do you want us around Porty Morgan? We'll bring the wine on the cameras.
Well, you better bring some cider, not wine.
Sarah's just asking, question, have you done or could you do an extension packing guide for cruises? I'm worried I won't have all I need. I've been watching Jamie has things like packing cubes. We've got packing cubes, which we use from time to time, not all the time. There's so many packing videos out there. I mean, there's, if you want the packing queens, there's Sherry, isn't there, from Cruise Tips TV, and there's Lana that does a Lifewell Cruise. There's so many packing videos out there. I don't think there's anything that we could add to the information out there. So, but we could do a sort of Paula Morgan style packing, just throw it all in and I'll sit on the top and hope for the best.
That's not true at all.
Isn't it?
No, because you won't let me pack anything. So I have to get out all my clothes and I lay it out and then Carole packs it because I'm apparently not competent enough to make sure everything goes in. Is that not true?
Something like that. So, and Emma saying she loves the show festival.
Well, there you go, look.
Oh, Nick's asking when the next Zoom is. I can get my book because I've been organising this, if you can still hear me. So I'm back in the room. So our next Zoom is on the 28th. So make sure you're there, Nick, because it's always good fun to have a chat.
28th of what?
20th of January.
Oh.
So we have a Zoom once a month with our top tier of our patrons.
I think I might be busy.
So it looks like we've come to the end of our questions. So thank you so much for all joining us. It's been fun as always. We're going to be here next Thursday with Dan the Cruiser, Dan our travel agent. So if you've got any questions specifically travel agent related questions, then make sure you write them down and get them ready for next week. Anything else to add, Paulie Morgan?
No, I was just reading Nick BBT saying he doesn't have any cameras, but he's happy to bring the Thatcher's Gold. So he sounds like, you know.
Don't have a camera, but happy to bring the Thatcher's Gold. Yes.
What a top man.
Mandy's worried about packing. She's like, the reason she's asking is she doesn't know what to pack for the Norwegian fjords, and you've answered it yourself. It's layers. Because one minute it can be hot, the next minute it can be snowing, the next minute it can be raining. And
the last twice we've been to the fjords, we've been loads of times now. We must have been 7 or 8 times now. The last twice we went, it was 2 of the hottest cruises we'd ever been on.
Yeah.
It was bonkers. We're walking around in shorts and T-shirts. But you've got to sort of pack for every eventuality. So layers.
Right. So don't forget to check out our new video that's coming out tomorrow. So our part 2 of our New York City vlogs. And make sure if you haven't seen part 1, then watch that too. So happy with that, Paulie Morgan?
Yeah.
So we will say goodbye for now, and we will catch up with you soon. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for joining us. And any patrons are still on here who's coming on the weekend. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Yes, can't wait to meet up. Bye for now.